It's another episode of OneAct.
The OneAct Show.
OneAct Show.
It's the OneAct Show.
It's a show with OneAct in it.
Hey, do you remember the gulags?
Boy, do I.
Well, thanks to the war on drugs, America has more people incarcerated than the Russian gulags ever did in their prime of Stalinism.
Huh.
Yeah, apparently Americans make up about 5% of the population of the world, but 25% of the total prisoner population of the world.
Well, speaking of Russia, and therefore Edward Snowden.
That's a smooth lead-in.
That's right. Russia has granted Edward Snowden a year's asylum to move freely about the country on the condition that he doesn't release any more harmful secrets about the U.S., not counting the ones he has already released to the media prior to that statement.
Why is this all starting to sound like this vaguely familiar movie? It's like there's this guy in this foreign land. He's trapped. He doesn't know what's going on.
Born Identity.
I don't have any papers. I lost meine Papiere. Ich habe sie verloren.
No, it's more like he doesn't belong there. He's not where he's supposed to be.
Jungle to Jungle.
We are all so happy today.
What's going on up here?
No, it's like a harrowing tale of a fish out of water.
Splash.
I am not a fish!
No, not Splash. Because he's an ex-government agent who's on the run in Russia, and he has the constant threat of CIA assassins looming over his head.
Born Supremacy.
Listen, he's an agency priority target. I understand.
No, not Supremacy.
Born Legacy.
I understand.
No. Born Ultimatum. Born Ultimatum.
Yep.
That's what it was. That's where my brain was.
Well, thanks to the latest revelation by Edward Snowden, we now know about a program called X-Keyscore, which apparently, with only an email or IP address, the government or contractors working for the government can access your complete online record from websites you've visited to people you're emailing without so much as more than a rubber-stamped warrant. Pretty much a slight justification for the reason for accessing it, and they have a treasure trove of personal information. So they know if you're sleeping.
They know when you're awake.
They know if you've been bad or good.
So be good for goodness sakes.
Remember when Edward Snowden said he could wiretap anyone at any time, be it the president or a federal judge, if he had their personal email, that he could see the content of everyone's communications without a warrant? The NSA came out and said Snowden was lying. Nobody can do that without a warrant. Snowden's latest revelation shows, yes, they can. NSA training materials that he had provided to The Guardian show that the analysts use a program called X-Keyscore to mine enormous agency databases by filling in a simple on-screen form, giving only a broad justification for the search. No warrant needed, just type in the email address and click search. Same with your Facebook chats and other internet activity. It can all be easily searched.
The NSA has trillions of telephone calls and emails in their databases that they've collected over the last several years. And it does two things. It searches that database and lets them listen to the calls or read the emails of everything that the NSA has stored, or look at the browsing histories or Google search terms that you've entered. And it also alerts them to any further activity that people connected to that email address or that IP address do in the future. And it's all done with no need to go to a court, with no need to even get supervisor approval on the part of the analyst.
Wow. So it looks like you're going to want to change the title of your book then.
My book?
Oh, your novella.
Ah, my novella, Terrorista.
Yeah, see, this is terrorist. That's the kind of stuff they pick up on now.
Not terrorist. Terrorista. A charming tale of a young boy whose passion for coffee has brought him to the big city, where he still must battle with his crippling terror of baristas.
Okay, if it wasn't a metaphor, then why is his best friend named Albert Cada?
My second grade English teacher was named Albert Cada. Are you trying to tell me there's something wrong with the name Albert Cada?
It sounds like Al-Qaeda.
Oh, great. So just because there's a group of idiots shooting rockets out of caves in the Middle East, now all of a sudden every Albert Cada has to feel fucking terrible about their name.
Fine. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But seriously, though, I'm just going to pick a passage out of your book and read it to you, okay?
Fine with me. Pick a passage.
All right, this is chapter 2. My coffee obliterated the competition in the city and rocketed to the top of the coffee scene, with dynamite recipes guaranteed to blow your mind. Now, do you hear how that sounds?
Sounds good to me.
You don't see how maybe your choice of words might pique the interest of some agencies?
What?
You don't think using all this, like, bomb terminology might lead some government agency to investigate you or something?
Bomb terminology? No. How else am I supposed to describe a coffee that just explodes with flavor?
See, right there. That word you use.
Flavor?
Explodes.
I don't see it.
All right. Okay, moving on. According to the Reuters report, not only is all of this information being taken from us, it turns out it's not being used to just stop terrorism. Apparently, it's also somehow finding its way into the hands of DEA and local law enforcement.
It's also Reuters. Or Reuters? What was it?
Fuck.
You said routers.
I said routers. Is that how you say it, Reuters?
I think so. According to Reuters. Reuters. Given that we know for a fact that they are not only recording everything we do on our computers and phones, but most likely observing, I would suggest everyone stop illegal activity and start using carrier pigeons for your dick pics.
Sound advice. Now, so we found somebody that's probably as far from us as we could, who also disagrees with the current NSA policies, and that's Rachel Maddow.
Rachel Maddow.
What if the immense surveillance powers of the U.S. government that had some agent somewhere listening into this conversation with the threats to the U.S. embassies, what if that same power has those same agents also listening in on your phone calls? Tips derived from NSA mass surveillance are being handed over to domestic American law enforcement through agencies like the DEA for things like regular old non-terrorist American crimes committed by Americans. According to Reuters, a secretive DEA unit is funneling information from intelligence intercepts to authorities across the nation to help them launch criminal investigations of Americans.
You can't just be taking my computer, man. I'm 24 years old. That's why I said I had to be 18, man.
Sir, we've had multiple reports of some pretty disturbing internet activity going around in the area. You mentioned online on August 2nd that you planned on shooting up to 10 people in the downtown area.
Shooting down? I'm a photographer. Yeah, I was going to take pictures of a bunch of people downtown.
All right, well, here 2 weeks later on August 16th, you said that you were looking up instructions on how to build a German Jager bomb.
A Jager
What is that?
A Jaeger bomb. I needed the recipe for a Jaeger bomb. Are you serious?
I see what's happening here. This last one now makes a lot more sense. Looks like on August 20th, you placed an order for multiple RPGs. That must be those role-playing games my kids were always talking about.
Yes, role-playing game.